my name is Mesona and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're already here, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and then share with someone who should watch this video. So let's go back to what we're talking about. We're talking about how to succeed in your career. Again, if you want to get to like the biggest point or the highest point in your career, there are a couple of things that you need to know and you need to start doing intentionally beyond just applying for a role. Some people just think that because I've been in this role for 5 years or I've been, working for 10 years, I should automatically become, the next big thing. I should be a senior executive. I should be earning in the millions. Well, it doesn't always work like that. So I'm going to try to put this into three things that I feel like are very important for your career growth. Now, there are lots of other things, but today we're talking about three things. Number one is when you start on early, build depth first. Okay? Be excellent at one thing first. Try to be that go-to person for something. Let them know that if it is project management, so don't worry, leave it. This person will do a very good job. If it is HR, then this is what they are doing. If there are salespeople, then they are very good at sales. One of the things that we struggle with a lot, especially in today's generation where the economy is digital and there's so many opportunities, is that we have a lot of polyvalent people, multi-talented. And I also struggle with it at the beginning. What did I want to do? Should I anchor my career towards being an SDG advocate? Should I become a project manager? Do I, do things around marketing? Eventually I settled in sales. That's where I started. So I get that you might feel you're very talented and you want to do everything, but hopping from one role to the next won't really help you become that successful person at the beginning, right? So at the beginning, again, I said at the beginning, you want to make sure that you are very good at something first. Build depth, go deeper, specialize, have a specialty. Generalists that don't, when you start out with a generalist and really don't have any specific thing that you're good at, it's hard for you to get the compensation that you deserve early on. However, when you are a specialist first and then you evolve into general leadership, that is much better. So it's much better you start out being a specialist in something and then you can evolve in your career later to become a generalist, a leader, someone who can, give advisory and can touch on different things, obviously as your career grows. But when you start off, you want to be able to, go deeper within something. The question to ask yourself is, what is that one thing that someone can call you and you can deliver on a world-class level? That's the question to ask yourself. If you've not figured it out yet, if you don't have that one thing that is your niche that people can associate you with for a start, your career is off to probably a rocky start, right? It will take a lot of time to like figure things out. Okay, so that's the first tip I'll give you today. The second thing is build and invest in relationships. And I know just before you be like, oh, I've heard this before, just hear me out. Listen, relationships are not just connections. It's not just about going to an event or having 2,000 people on your LinkedIn or having lots of followers or taking so many business cards or having all this contact. It's about people that you've been able to impact and leave an impression on. Okay, the chances are your next big break will not just come from your shiny new CV or come from the new certification that you've added. It might just come from someone who remembers how you work, someone who remembers your work ethic, someone who can vouch for you. Because in rooms, opportunities will flow through people. Opportunities will definitely flow through people. So invest in your relationship, your mentors, your mentees, your co-workers, your colleagues, people that you're helping in communities that you belong to. Don't just be a silent participant. Okay, make sure that you're contributing something to people. You're delivering and offering value to people. You're also being a person of value yourself. It means that, when someone comes to you, they can get something valuable, either from the content that you're sharing or from the way that you've helped them in the past or from just working with them. And again, building great relationships can also mean that you are delivering fabulously in the role that you are in. So imagine that you're working in your office now, your colleague or your team lead, by doing your job and doing it very well, by being able to look at problems and try to solve it, being genuinely concerned in, trying to move the company forward. You're building and forging real relationships. You are in the workplace, you're that person that is willing to help. Have you noticed that those people who are like the go-to people when people have issues at work or they have issues with their projects, they're just the go-to people. They're the person that you can go and ask. They might not be experts at it, but they're genuinely interested in seeing people succeed. Those people almost always succeed because value is tied around people. If you're genuinely interested in seeing somebody move forward, the chances that you move forward are very high, right? One of the ways that my organization came to be Growth Party was just because I was just really interested at helping people build businesses. Even when I didn't know what building businesses was about, I would have friends who say, "Hey, I want to launch this project." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's brainstorm." Zero charge. I didn't charge anything. I just sat down and, "Oh, let's brainstorm. Oh, you can do this, you can do that. Or let's have a conversation. Let's think through this. Let's walk through this." Genuinely interested in being helpful to people. And it was these same people that then start to recommend me for gigs and be like, "Oh, I know this company is looking for something. I think you're great at this thing." And that's how we got to where we are today. So make sure that you're investing in your relationships and you're making yourself someone of value to the people around you. Because remember, opportunities will flow through people. And then the last but not the least for today is that you've got to adapt relentlessly. Adaptability is the king of the game. Listen, if you're in a fast moving career, regardless of the role that I take that back, regardless of the career that you're in, there are trends that will definitely be affecting your jobs, whether you're in banking or you're in medicine, you're a doctor, or you're in law. Like, I'm trying to think of the most rigid or the most traditional careers as we know it, not even the more recent ones. Regardless of the career that you're in, chances are things are changing and evolving fast. You've got to adapt. You've got to learn new tools. If we take sales, for instance, or business development, for instance, when we started out, there were tools like, HubSpot and Salesforce and some of those older ones, Apollo, right? Today, there are so many different new tools that are doing some of these things faster and better. You're hearing of email marketing tools that you've never heard before. You're hearing of automation and tools like Zapier. You're hearing, new, shiny, different tools that people you have to start learning. When we started doing sales, there wasn't anything like maybe revenue operations. Now revenue ops is a thing. You've got to learn it, right? You've got to move beyond that. I know it's this is my title, this is my JD, to a place where what is changing in my industry currently? What do I need to learn? For some of you, it might mean that every year you're taking a certification on something. And by certification, I don't just mean getting the degree, I mean you're learning. Actually, you're taking a course on something that is going to help you get better in that field, in that career. You are joining a community to learn about the latest, practices and trends. You are staying up to date and you're adapting. If you've been a HR manager for the last 5 years and you've been using spreadsheets, and now people are moving from spreadsheets to HR tools, like HR tech has become a thing. You've got to go back to the drawing board and learn it, right? Don't just, you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn. Don't let ego make you stuck or get you stuck in a position in your career, in a particular position in your career, right? For you to keep moving and flowing and getting to that place where you were earning those big numbers, you need to be able to solve problems as they are today. That's the thing. Problems within industries are changing, or at the very least, they're evolving. So it means that the problem that we're solving 10 years ago for some companies are not the same problem. So it's not the same skill set that's going to solve those problems, right? 10 years ago, if you were making content, you're probably one of the few people making content. So marketing and ads, there are a lot more, will I say, converting. Today, there's so much content in the online space. So much is going out. So you have to be a lot more competitive. People are now thinking of different ways to tell story, different ways to run ads, different ways to put out things. You've got to evolve because the problems and the times have changed or are still changing. So you need to keep that growth mindset. You need to constantly tell yourself, I need to improve, I need to learn something. Then go out there and look for those things that you can learn. So those are like 3 things that you can do. You can start doing today. You can start being conscious of, and you can start investing your time in if you really, really want to scale your career. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a comment. Tell me which one you're going to be practicing, which one you're already doing, and make sure you share this video. Also subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.